Welcome to Sign High. I'm Alana Best.
Kia ora. My name is Mita Moses. There are 2 deaf schools in New Zealand, one in Auckland, Kelston Deaf Education Centre, and one in Christchurch, Van Ash Deaf Education Centre.
The schools have a combined board of trustees who manage both schools, and they have their meetings in Wellington. In Northland, most deaf or hearing impaired students who attend mainstream schools are supported by Kelston Deaf Education Centre as part of their regional service. Both schools have a New Zealand Sign Language curriculum, and that is where my role comes in.
We have a brief part of Alana's Picha Kucha presentation on her job as a sign language teacher.
So I teach my children concepts in the English language and how to translate that into sign language. That's my job, just like this person's doing here on a one-on-one situation. I encourage them and they eventually learn more and more. There are 5 classes that I go to regularly. I teach them sign language, everyday sign language. We follow the theme of the class, whether that's matariki or the environment. And it's really good to encourage socialisation for those hearing children who have a deaf child in their class. After school, I'm still working. I have Skype sessions with teacher aides who are in remote areas. So we have a video conference tutelage happening. Sometimes I visit homes and teach the family and the children sign language as well. It's a lot of work. This is a real example of what I'm doing with my student. We were talking about the World War, and this is how our communication goes. The conversation starts with me working out what kind of concepts the children are aware of, and if they have the wrong word perhaps, then I correct them so that they know what they're doing in the classroom. And I also teach Māori culture. I have this certificate. Here's the proof. So I'm teaching Māori students about their own culture and language so that they grow up with those Māori concepts as well.
Next we have Harry from Deaf Aotearoa. She works with the families that have deaf children or hearing impaired children from the ages of 0 to 5. So what is your role?
My role is as First Signs facilitator.
Can you explain to us what First Signs is about?
Well, First Signs is a really unique service. It allows the families of deaf or hard of hearing children up to the age of 5 to access New Zealand Sign Language and incorporate it into their day-to-day lives. So when the children are first identified as deaf or hard of hearing, then they're referred to the advisor of deaf children. That's under the Ministry of Education. And their job is to help the family navigate the journey that's begun. So then they call in the First Signs facilitator, and that's via Deaf Aotearoa. Now the facilitators themselves are mostly deaf or somebody who's fluent in sign language. And together, working alongside the family, we design a service specifically tailored to that family's needs. And that's what I love about this service, is that it's family-centred and family-driven. And it weaves the 2 communities together. The hearing community finally has access to a very rich and vibrant deaf community. And it allows the families to be able to communicate with each other. And this is something that has never been possible in the past. So yes, First Signs is a very exciting service.
Thank you for your time and sharing your fabulous information with us today. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
And now we have a Northland Regional Resource Teacher of the Deaf coming to explain to us about what she does.
Yeah, well, my name is Margot, and I'm a resource teacher of the deaf, and I'm employed by Kelston Deaf Education Center. And the purpose of Kelston Deaf Education Center is to provide assistance for all deaf and hearing impaired students. Our region is from Lake Taupo north to Kaitaia, and as resource teachers of the deaf, we're specialist teachers, and we assist over 400 young people in this area. Our main emphasis is on communication and oral language. As those people who have young people or who are involved in education realize that if students do not have understanding of oral language, if they cannot hear things properly and they do not understand what's going on around them, then they are not going to be able to learn those academic skills such as reading and writing and math. So we are viewed as specialist teachers, and our main emphasis is on oral language and communication skills. So with deaf students, of course, that would be exposing them to sign and experiences vocabulary so that they can learn. For those students who are hard of hearing, it could be helping them with their hearing aids. Some of them have FM systems. So we do a lot of technology, because if the students can't hear, those who are hearing, it's very difficult to teach them and give them access to information. We work a lot with teachers in the classroom, teacher aides, SENCOs, AODCs, families, the students. So it's whatever we can do to make education accessible to our students. They are capable students like all other students. We just need to make sure that we have adapted the curriculum within the schools so that they can be successful. What I really like best about my job is, as a specialist teacher, I can really make a meaningful difference in the lives of students. We work with so many people, and we work directly with the students and the schools and the families, that we're kind of the pivot person to make sure that all of these things happen. So that's really, really important. And the other thing that I think is really important is that we make other people aware of those students who are deaf and hearing impaired, and make them inclusive within the school and within the society. It's sometimes people are frightened by someone who is deaf or can't hear properly, and they have misconceptions. But the more we expose everybody, they realize that our kids are just like all of the other kids in the class. And I have had many, many, many teachers and teacher aides tell me, and principals, that it's been a benefit for them to have our students in their schools, because they learn more by having that young person in their school, in their classroom. So everybody benefits. Like everybody else, it's paperwork, record keeping. Everybody has to do that. And the other thing is having the time to develop the relationships with people within schools. You have so many students on your caseload that I see 3 students in a day, so I'm an hour and a half one place, I go to another school, I'm 2 hours another place, and it takes a while to develop that professional relationship. And it's just finding the time to be able to do those things so that you can work collaboratively as a team, because we do work very collaboratively with other people. If I just went in and spent my 1 or 2 sessions a week and that's all I did, there's a limited amount that I can accomplish. But if I can educate people, if I can work with the teachers, if I can help set up programs within the schools, then the students are going to be more successful and everybody will benefit.
Welcome back. Next, we have a New Zealand Sign Language teacher aide and her student who attends a mainstream school. a deaf student, Lennox. He has a sign language teacher aide, a New Zealand Sign Language tutor, and a resource teacher of the deaf, who all encourage and support his learning. When the other children go to music, what do you do?
I stay with Nadia, and I work or something, or do sign group.
What sign group?
Group of children, some that don't go to music, can learn sign, playing cards, and play animal game.
So your friends are learning sign language.
Yes, my friend's name Shante, sign name Shante. She's a girl. She's really good, fast at learning. Learning from me.
It's great to see that with the New Zealand Sign Language at School project, there is now more support for deaf and hearing impaired students attending mainstream schools.
Next up, Signs for the Classroom.
School. Pen. Paper. Pencil. Ruler. Rubber. Colour. Desk. Table. Chair. Book. Write. Read. Watch. Listen. Teacher. Teacher aide. Glue. Scissor. Active board. Whiteboard. Do you like school? You have a new teacher this year, but don't worry, she's lovely. Take your book to your desk, please. Do you have any colouring pencils? We're going to watch a video on dairy farms. Write your name on the back of the piece of paper. Do you need to borrow a ruler? Where is your teacher aide?
Welcome back. New Zealand Sign Language at Schools project has provided a new role to provide sign language tutoring in mainstream schools. Alana will tell you more.
My role as a New Zealand Sign Language tutor is funded by New Zealand Sign Language at Schools project. New Zealand Sign Language at Schools project, what is it? The Ministry of Education wanted to build a more responsive and effective education. New Zealand Sign Language tutors provide direct support on New Zealand Sign Language in schools, families and communities, so children have higher levels of success in education. I work for Kelston Deaf Education Centre. There is only one New Zealand Sign Language tutor in Northland, but there are tutors all over New Zealand. All of the sign language tutors work under both Kelston Deaf Education Centre and Van Ash Deaf Education Centre.
Here is a recap for sign language in the classroom. Hope you have been practicing all the lessons to date.
School. Pen. Paper. Pencil. Ruler. Rubber. Colour. Desk. Table. Chair. Book. Write. Read. Watch. Listen. Teacher. Teacher aid. Glue. Scissor. Active board. Whiteboard. Do you like school? You have a new teacher this year, but don't worry, she's lovely. Take your book to your desk, please. Do you have any colouring pencils? We're going to watch a video on dairy farms. Write your name on the back of the piece of paper. Do you need to borrow a ruler? Where is your teacher aid? Do you have an iPad? Yes? There are some ready-to-read books, video signed in New Zealand Sign Language. Just go and have a look. There are also apps you can buy for learning rhymes in New Zealand Sign Language. Download Rhymes with Sign.
Nursery rhymes in New Zealand Sign Language make it more fun for your family to sign sing along to. Click all the interesting tabs, and if you are accessing from your tablet or iPad or mobile, download the app. Here is a demo of Incy Wincy Spider.
Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed poor Incy out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. Then Incy Wincy Spider climbed up the spout again.
If you have an iPad or tablet or a smartphone, download these books for your children to read with NZ Sign Language support. Here is the list of books with NZSL and colour codes if you know which reading level your child is at.
Deaf education in New Zealand has been operating for a long time, but many people don't know about it.
Both deaf education centres continue to support deaf and hearing impaired students in the mainstream schools. If your child or you know of a student that is not receiving support, not under Kelston Deaf Education Centre, you should contact Kelston for more information.
Next week we are going to visit Whangarei Court, so keep watching. Kia ora.
Bye.